let's talk about that North Carolina Minnesota game and why the hell Max Johnson was in the game as long as he was. Look, obviously, so sorry to hear about Max Johnson, right? And like,
Yeah.
watch what happened to his leg. That was really brutal. You hate that to happen to anyone, but why why didn't they see Connor Harrell sooner? Like we were told, like going into this, like that it was a quarterback battle that they would both play. Now they both ended up playing, but for the wrong reason.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm with you. First of all, super sad Johnson. I hopefully he comes back next year. He's got eligibility, right? He would have eligibility with the medical red shirt, and he could, whether it's at North Carolina or elsewhere, he plays and plays well. But he struggled. He struggled, and he had the turnover, which gave Minnesota a touchdown, led to a touchdown. He had a strip fumble, right? And by the way, you were running the ball well with Hampton, so you get Harrell in there, and you add that element to your team, that extra running back as your quarterback, as Boston College is about to win the football game. Holy cow! That to me, I was like, where's all that? And then when Johnson went down, you saw them be a little bit more exciting and a little bit more better running. And he had the nice play, although the line was downfield, which is fine, but it's hard play to call in football, right? The play where he pulled it, he ran out, and then the receiver snuck by the sideline. He threw it to him for like a 30-yard game instead of the game winning field goal for them. There was offensive lineman downfield, which is totally fair. To me, with Minnesota, though, you should have won that football game, right? You had two field goals
Yeah.
that you missed. You did not turn the ball over, right? Well, I guess you had the fumble with Brosmer, which led to a field goal, but Marcus Major ran the ball well at times.
Yes. At times, I thought he was awesome the whole game.
Yeah, yeah. To me, and that's why we said on the show here, the more important person in this team is Daniel Jackson. He was battling injuries. He didn't look 100%. He only had 4 catches. He was more important than losing a guy like Darius Taylor, although Darius Taylor's arguably a better football player. But the drop off to Major, really good. He ran the ball well. He's healthy.
And
Good
Ben
to see
Guro,
his
who by the
arm
way
and
didn't
everything.
even play. Like
Didn't
where
even
was he?
play. And Newman had a nice catch too for you. But to me, is the offensive line. That's what was super, super disappointing. In week one, breaking in a new quarterback, bunch of veteran offensive linemen against, yes, a pretty formidable front there for North Carolina, but also a defense that has been taken advantage of for multiple years now. And obviously, Jeff Collins comes in, and you saw them be fast, be physical, no bust. Like they played well, and hats off to them too. But you were hoping for this offensive line to control the football game like North Carolina's did, running the football. And that was our concern, was in the front seven, can you stop the run? And I was actually, impressed with, the play of the safeties coming down, making some big tackles. But it was brutal, man. I know week one you missed tackles a lot, but Hampton and even guys in space on the edge there, you were missing too many tackles. And Max Johnson made a really nice play on third down to score that touchdown in the second quarter, the only touchdown of North Carolina's day there to scramble in. So obviously,
Yeah.
for Minnesota, that was a game that you needed to win because you look at that schedule, you look at what's going on there in the Big Ten, and you are definitely worried about not making a bowl game for sure. But go to North Carolina. Yeah, there's not a ton of games on their schedule they can't win, and it'll be interesting to see the development of Connor Harrell. But he kind of has a couple weeks to get going. Like, I mean, JMU looked okay, right? Looked pretty good, but
Early
don't
on,
really
there was
play
it
a
was a little
damn
weird,
good
but
team in
yeah.
the ACC until dangerous team in the ACC until Georgia Tech in mid October, right? And then you get Virginia and Florida State, so a lot of winnable football games from North Carolina and Mac Brown and Connor Harrell to get ready, he did not throw the ball well, he did not, but he can run, and you give him time to get acclimated, to build a system around him. It could be fun.
Talk about this Minnesota defense and Amarian Hampton kind of shredding him when he needed to. Like, I mean, it was at times you made some nice stops, but I feel like there were some experts that I heard talking about this front seven being pretty good, especially with Cody Lindenberg back. And I know you were high on Cody Lindenberg, but I was not very impressed with the front seven of Minnesota.
Now, I thought Lindenberg played okay, but it was just like too many guys not shedding tackles, and I was a little bit frustrated at time with the alignment of Minnesota's defense, especially those linebackers being put in bad spots. And that also goes to Corey Heatherman, too, new defense coordinator for you there at Minnesota. The more things change, the more things stay the same. Last year, you really struggled stopping the run with Joe Rossi. This year, new defense coordinator in, and you're also still struggling to stop the run. Now, listen, O'Marion Hampton, might be the best running back that you see all year, right? I don't think that's crazy. Maybe a couple of those kids from Penn State, but and Manon guy from Rutgers, but Hampton's an all-American type kid. You said you were like, listen, I see the top end talent from North Carolina is better than a top end talent from Minnesota. And that kind of showed out with Hampton, Power Echols. Those
It
guys played
Jones,
well.
kind of,
Elijah Huzzy at
not really.
times came on. Rucker had a sack. So Ritzy played really well too in the middle there. So we'll see how it goes there. Um, what kind of adjustments to make. I was impressed by the corners because that was a potential concern. We break in a new guy. Was Wally struggled last year, and the safety play too. Kerry Brown. We talked about him. Or I talked about him back in August. Kerry Brown's a good football player. Kerry Brown's a really good football player. And Aiden Goosby, man, I don't see him, man. He played a ton and he struggled last year. He struggled again today. And I know Coy Parrots does not play strong safety, but damn it, man, I wish he did because I would love to see him give it a go there. He's got the talent to do so for sure.